Hello, my lovelies. Thank you all always for all of your patience, especially when I try to do additional readings like these year aheads or love readings. Obviously, it's a little crazy at holiday time, but as I gear up to continue to serve you guys the realist in 2018, here we are. So I had to change the structure a little bit. I don't know if you had seen what I put up for Aquarius. That was the spread that what I do if you order a private year ahead with me. However, I had to change the structure. They were just way too long. So this is for my water signs. And shout out to my best friend who's a Scorpio and is my hairstylist. So we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to pull a lesson card for all the water signs collectively, and I'll break them down individually, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay. Happy Saturn and Capricorn, everybody, as well. For all water signs, 2018. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. How perfect. Because even if, you know, obviously Saturn and Capricorn is a little sobering, it's a little serious. It really is like get down to business and you can't play games anymore. However, water signs are so tapped in, right? You're going to be so tapped in this year that the only way you're really going to survive the external pressure that Capricorn, that Saturn is going to bring, especially while you all have this lovely trine or conjunction with Jupiter in Scorpio, it's all about really expanding upon your own version of security and the own rules that you want to implement, especially as it relates to what you know deep in your soul to be true. Oh my gosh. That one's going back. Okay, so Cancer. Your overall energy for 2018 is death. I am learning that endings are merely new beginnings. Wow. So considering Capricorn opposes you and Pluto has been there for quite some time, you know, 'tis the season, baby. So what is the overall energy, Spirit, that Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings are going to be experiencing in 2018? Okay, Six of Swords. We need to move beyond those things, Cancer, that we love to hold on to. Like the Six of Swords. There we go. The Six of Swords is always an energy of, oh, I don't want to let this go because I know that I have a right to hold on to it. I know that I have a right to be mad. I know that I have a right to be displeased and offended and betrayed. However, hate only hurts the beholder, right? Grudges only hurt the beholder. If you are so consumed by whatever anguish has permeated your thought process, it will be next to impossible to thrive because you're so consumed about what other people have done wrong to you. And as things die off, right? Because death is a very fanciful term. It's not to be taken literally. You know, and death is coming, right? Change is coming for better or worse. Those painful times that you've gone through over the last year or two, they are shifting to smoother waters, but you first have to relinquish and surrender over to Source. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. That's a very foreign energy for you, Cancer, to be the Queen of Swords, to be very objective, right? There's a need to be very, very objective about what you speak about, what you hold on to, what you're willing and not willing to let go of. Like, don't beat a dead horse this year, Cancer. Because again, only you are going to suffer for that. Next, we have the Five of Wands, right? The more we hold on and resist change, the more we energetically get our ass beat. Like, you know, that's just the reality of it. So overall, there will be things that are going to challenge you. But the key is, one, to not hold on to things that make you feel down, to make you feel unsafe. Definitely let go of bitterness. definitely let go of anything that has disappointed you, that has really just not panned out. Like things that you feel were out of your control. You need to let those go, because the only person you're fighting is your higher self, is your more expanded self. Because even if people did do you wrong, even if people did cross you, you have to have faith that that experience was brought into your life to heed a lesson. So it's time to accept that lesson. Then we have the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups, he has his arms crossed, and again, while Spirit is handing you a new cup, you don't need to stay in that same emotional position, even if it is comfortable, even if it is soothing, right? Even if it is familiar. I know you're not satisfied in that current state, so open your heart, open your mind, and be willing to trust again. There's a huge, huge theme here for Cancer, I almost said Capricorn, to trust again. Because death can be painful or easy. As we walk this path and we do shadow work, as we do inner child work, as we heed Spirit's lessons, it gets more nuanced and it gets more subtle. When it's really, really strong and chaotic, it's because we were just refusing and refusing and refusing to heed the lesson. When it kind of just comes up as a quick little something, honestly, it starts as a subtle message like in your ear or in a dream. And depending on how tuned in you are, you'll hear it. Now, then you might have like a friend bring it up to you in a nonchalant way, and you always have the ability to brush it off until things get really, really compounded and you've waited too long. So don't miss the boat, okay? Don't miss the boat. Ooh, behind the Queen of Swords is the Lovers. This is a matter of being discretionary so that you can walk your highest path, okay? So don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in having a vendetta, an emotional vendetta. Okay? It's not going to help you. It's not going to hurt the other person. It's only going to hurt you. Spirit, what is on the horizon in the major theme in love for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for 2018? I don't know what the cards were doing. Ooh. Somebody might be stacking the deck. Stacking the deck this year, Cancer. We have the Page of Wands with the Two of Cups in the bottom of the deck. I'm going to pull two more cards, but you deserve passion, and you deserve to reignite that flame inside of you. Again, that flame of trust, because ultimately Wands rule the spirit realm. And until you trust in Spirit and trust the things that get delivered to you, right? Wands, or Page rather. Things that get delivered to you. It's going to be hard for you to communicate with your higher self, and therefore it's going to keep your relationships at an infancy phase, okay? Because the Page of Wands is merely just the beginning, okay? So if you want things to fully actualize, there's a need to really cooperate with yourself, though. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Fool, along with, obviously, the Page of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and then together came Justice and the Queen of Wands. Some of you may be dealing with the Queen of Wands, whether it be an actual fire sign woman or someone that you co-parent with who you're not dating, like you're not with them, okay? They're a single person with a very separate agenda to yours. I see if you've been battling a legal thing with children, I see you getting exactly what you want out of the situation, Cancer. Okay, it's going to set you on a whole new path. Yep, right behind the Fool is the Sun. Okay? I do see you being successful in that, but you do need to, like the Fool, be willing to carry no baggage this year, okay? That message goes for everybody. Pack light. I think I told that to Capricorn maybe in October. That's one of my favorite lines from Erykah Badu. Pack light. This is why I don't always show my face, because this is what I do. So, as we heed the messages from Source, as we get re-inspired with life, with love, with this new journey that we can feel beckoning us, right? We can feel it calling. You can feel it calling. And the Nine of Cups, right? The Nine of Cups is such a beautiful energy. However, I do have to mention here, because death is here, because there's this deep need to transform and back to imagination, embrace, right? Embrace something that is non-physical. Be very mindful of any type of overindulgent habit you may have, because the Nine of Cups is a very, like the Four of Cups, he has his arms crossed. So though he's very satisfied with himself and he's very happy about what he's achieved, the only goals and wishes that he has obtained and solidified are his own. So if you are looking to be in a partnership, know that though selfishness is important, because hello, you need to set your boundaries, you need to make sure that your needs are getting met. However, make sure that you are cooperating with whomever you are trying to formulate a relationship with. Obviously, with positive boundaries, right? Justice. Obviously, with karmic justice, if you will, in mind. Because actually, I was watching the Paleo report today, and he was talking about how no matter how high we vibrate, Newton's law, right, cause and effect, very much reigns supreme on this planet. So even if you're vibrating at this really high frequency and you're, trying to live this super spiritual or super awakened life, everything that we do has a consequence. So not that this is unfavorable at all. I just see that you're going to find a lot of personal satisfaction through love this year. And this may keep you single, Queen of Wands, right? And that may be what you want, but it's almost like you need to feel content in your singleness in a positive way before you can really embrace the possibility of justice, right? The scales, finding balance and equality with the other people that you bring into your life. Because everyone that deserves to be a full-blown individual. Obviously, Cancer, you love to love deeply, and that's why you take so long to open the door. But this Queen of Wands, if it's not your energy, she's looking towards the future. Injustice is in the present. Nine of Cups is in the present. So don't get so stuck on, again, what we were talking about before with the Six of Swords. Don't get so stuck on what happened in the past or what's in front of you right now, assuming that things are going to be solidified in the future, okay? All is fair, right, when we choose ourselves. And it's possible to choose ourselves and still choose another person, but that requires compromise. So definitely keep that in mind this year, Cancer, because it's about using your imagination to transform death, right? Transform your ideas of relationship and of, just love in general. All right, and last but not least, let's get you some financial and career messages. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. So, out of the deck came the World and the Three of Swords. And on the bottom of the deck is the Empress. I don't know, Cancer. Yeah, and then I just cut the deck and I got the Four of Wands. So this is finances and career. So, honestly, I see this World more as you closing a chapter. But how long it takes for you to close this chapter is going to be very, very dependent on all the things that we've already spoken about. Okay, because the Empress talks about your ability to receive. And she has all that she has, not because she went out and worked for it or hustled for it. She did the inner work to know that she is so worthy. She is so worthy that she doesn't have to struggle for what she wants. She doesn't have to fight for what she wants. She doesn't even have to ask twice, okay? So if you really want to enter a world, a whole new experience, where your pain is somehow like, it's all worth it. Like the payoff, if you want to see the payoff for your pain, right, in the Four of Wands, you need to be willing to celebrate yourself as well as celebrate with and celebrate the people in your life and also celebrate with the people in your life. And you also need to be willing to celebrate your hardships. Okay, and again, seeing the value in the things that you experience, no matter how painful they are in the present. Oh my gosh. Six of Pentacles. I know you guys got this in your Decembers, I believe. Right? This is all about reciprocity. If you feel like somebody else is holding all the other chips, right? Like if somebody else is wielding power over you, ask yourself, why is that? Like, okay, what power do they have over me? Then you get an answer. Oh, they have power over me because they're demanding my time. Okay, why do you feel like they're demanding your time? Because you're an independent, solitary person and you're in control of your time. Well, every time I talk to them, that's what they ask about. Well, maybe they just want to meet you halfway. Because that's the key to mastering the Six of Pentacles. Where are your boundaries? Where do you grasp at straws? Where do you demand that you hold all the straws and someone comes to you? There's a need to harmonize the energy you give out and the energy you receive in all types of relationships in your life. Definitely, I said the finance and career, so definitely in career. Especially if your romantic life or your personal life in general has been on the back burner in pursuit of money, in pursuit of financial stability. I think you're going to find that that's doing more harm than good. In that if you just finally sit into your worth, if you finally start to believe that you don't have to struggle or do the most to have the universe be benevolent towards you, you'll start to feel a lot more secure. Okay, this Four of Wands for me is about you coming into your security. Okay, and finding strength in relationships. Knowing that your tribe, right, the people that make you feel safe, they're not as far away as you think, but they can feel really, really far if you're hell-bent on the struggle, okay? All right, so I almost said Leo. So I don't know if any of you Cancers have Leo in your chart. I definitely think that last message resonates with you more strongly. Scorpio, your overall lesson this year is loneliness. I know that I am never alone. Whew. You guys know I'm a Scorpio moon, so that's pretty straightforward, man. Again, going back to the concept of faith, we have to really believe that our non-physical ancestors and guides are really always there. Okay? They're really always there. And wow, this is beautiful. And there's so much resiliency to gain in the ability to be alone. Now, coming from a double Virgo, obviously, as much as we can learn to thrive alone, there's a need to not be bitter about your aloneness, even if you're great at it. Okay? And I don't see you particularly doing that right now in the cards that I have on the table. However, there's a difference between being lonely and alone, because we can be lonely in a crowded room. We can be lonely in a relationship. We can be lonely in a family dynamic. We can be lonely with the people that we say we love the most. But this is about when you feel lonely. Embrace, again, going back to the overall water theme, imagination, and understand that your mind has the ability, or rather your soul, right? But it's going to project through your mind, has the ability to take you literally anywhere, okay? Literally out of this world. So when in doubt, for sure this year, Scorpio, meditate, dare to dream, document your dreams, pay attention to your dreams, do anything that you need to do to facilitate a sense of closeness, okay? If you're feeling left out, if you're feeling isolated, do anything to connect to your higher self, okay? So your overall spiritual theme for this year is the Star, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles, and on the bottom of the deck, we have the Strength. And didn't I almost say Leo? And this is Leo's card. Woo! Okay. So, with this combination here, the Star is really saying that through your faith and vulnerability, right, and belief in a bigger plan for you and everybody else, that even though you may not see it all, and all you have to follow is the patterns of the stars, potentially maybe even astrology. I'm feeling like astrology may be a way to feel less lonely for some of you this year. I know that has worked for me in the past. You realize that strength, right? True strength is resiliency. True strength is not aggression. It is the ability to remember that in all times and spaces we are connected to the divine source. And when we are feeling agitated and when we are feeling caged in and when we are feeling like our back is getting pushed against the wall, that is the time to remember that you are so supported. No matter how many people are standing around you or no matter how many people ignore, what you do. Okay? Because you're stepping into a dream cloud. Like, I really see Scorpio living the dream this year. Okay? Granted, I think by October, Jupiter's going to be out of Scorpio. And in my experience with other Jupiter transits, you really, really start to see the benefits of Jupiter towards the third quarter of its transit. Okay, and definitely when it passes through. With the Nine of Pentacles here, you're learning your worth. The time that you spend alone, Nine of Pentacles, is teaching you your value and your worth. And it's like your stock is rising this year, okay? On a spiritual level, you're understanding how much you are worth and how valuable you are. And that when you master how to use your alone time, Eight of Pentacles, when you learn how to master the time on your hands, you come into a whole different form of silent strength. Like, you don't even need anybody to validate you anymore. This is such a beautiful energy. I see you getting so inspired in your time alone as well. Like, this is you finding a whole new practice for yourself that really allows you to bring in all your creative power, all your intuitive power, and combine it with your practical power. This is like, I don't watch those shows. This is like Super Saiyan or whatever. I know that's the proper reference. I just don't remember where it's from. But anyways, Spirit, what does Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising have in store for love in 2018? Oh my gosh. One more card. Love in 2018. Okay, or 4 cards. Okay. Okay. We're definitely stepping into stability. Similar to Cancer, we do have the Empress showing here, but it's showing in a very different way. Your love life is transforming, and it's going to take some time for it to formulate. I don't see it formulating till the summer, maybe July. More like August. Let me not lie. August. Okay, and didn't I just say Jupiter starts to get benevolent in its fourth quarter? So we have Death, your card. 4 of Swords. And these came out together. The Empress and the Ace of Wands. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords. So for those of you that are feeling lonely and wondering when a baby is going to come, or wondering when you're finally going to become a wife, or step into a mother type of role, I definitely see that being a potential for you later in the year. With the Death card here, though, this is already underway. I don't feel like this is news to you. I feel like you already know, or at least feel like this huge undercurrent change is coming. Because the Ace of Swords here, oh, and behind that, the High Priestess. If it's not clear yet, it's just about to be. There will be no questions. There will be no stone unturned about why you've been alone, why you went these years by yourself, right? And there's going to be so many lessons in love, right? Through your ability, 4 of Swords, to reflect on the things that have hurt you and no longer keep that pain active. Similar to Cancer, no longer keeping that pain active, okay? Because he has the 3 swords hanging above his head and he's laying on the single sword, which is the Ace. Through withdrawal, right? Through trying to figure it all out, through trying to actively push through and create change in your love life, you come into a state of non-resistance, a state of passivity, but again, not in an ignorant way. And speaking of loneliness, so up in the stained glass window here, we have like almost like a mother and a child looking down at a father. This semblance of family, almost as if he's dreaming of what it would be like to have a family. Definitely, definitely, definitely. If you don't have one yet, Scorpio, take up a meditation practice. Document your dreams, especially because in the death card, this thing where I have mine now, that is shown in the moon card up really close. That's the image that's there, and the moon card denotes dreams. So you can find a lot of keys to transformation through how to kind of speed up this process, even though we're not on our time, we're on divine time, but to make it more smooth, right? You come into a strong sense of self, and you stop trying to press the issue. And through going into a surrender and a state of resistance, a state of, again, not owning your pain, knowing that, yes, it was something I experienced, but it is not of my being. It merely just crafted the person I am today, and I'm a better person for it. Then we also have, like I said, the Empress and the Ace of Wands together, which also makes a 4. So you're coming into a much more stable beginning, okay? The Empress is so sure of herself. She understands her worth. Just like all that stuff I just went through in the spiritual forecast, right? The cards before this. You're mastering your individual energy so that you can come into a very, very healthy relationship. Even if you're in a relationship, this is about you mastering yourself so that you're eradicating any final codependent, lingering, like, debris. And this is also really empowering you in a feminine aspect. Again, whether you're a man or a woman watching this, I see you really coming into peace with the fact that, again, through being open, through knowing your worth, things happen, okay? The sparks can fly, and they will, okay? The Fool. And then I just got the Queen of Pentacles. So it can be something amazing. I think it's not going to really, I don't think you're going to be super engaged with other people on a serious level unless you already are in a relationship till, like I said, August, right? I said August. The Queen of Pentacles fell out again. So this message could be particularly strong if you have Earth in your chart, as well as if you're dealing with an Earth sign, as well as if you're like the head of household, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles is the lower expression of the Empress, right? She's very highly capable, highly independent, especially when it comes to practical matters and mastering this realm. The only difference between her and the Empress is really that the Empress does less and just things just fall into her lap. She's like, for me, she's like the Queen of Miracles. Okay? Ooh, just one last message. Ace of Pentacles. 10 of Cups, a new opportunity to have that love that feels like the end of a rainbow. It's like you only thought they talked about it in movies. Something that you had to give up on. That's that four of swords. You had to give up if it was ever going to happen for you before it could happen. And the reason why is because we often attach those, oh my God, like this perfect thing to very specific traits or people or timelines, and that's just not how it works. So a spirit makes you think that you're going to lose it and you're never going to have it before it manifests. Yay. Okay, so on a financial and career level, what is coming for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising? What is the overall energy in 2018? Well, there it goes. So we have the Two of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Five of Swords. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. So, like I was telling Cancer with the Six of Swords, this is about movement that you may not have anticipated or really had wanted to get over, but you have to anyways. Obviously, Saturn just moved into Capricorn. And that doesn't, that trines you. However, we're all, right? Every sign collectively, we're all getting forced to really face who we are. And anything that we haven't really settled with ourselves is going to get shown, especially in the physical realm. I was tweeting about this maybe a week or so ago. I feel one of the biggest collective themes this year is going to be visibility. Meaning, no matter what type of person you are, in any type of position, no matter what your beliefs are, what you do, everyone's getting seen. This is what Jupiter and Scorpio is doing now. You see it with the sex scandal, the sexual harassment scandals coming out, but nothing's really happening with it yet. It's like people are getting exposed, but they're not seeing a complete fallout of their duties. With Saturn and Capricorn now, there's going to start to be consequences for things that we do that are not in alignment with our soul's truth. So I don't feel that this 5 of Cups is going to be something devastating for a lot of people. I'm going to pull an additional clarity card on that in a second, but the Queen of Cups is also a passive energy, right? It is you. It is your energy. However, 2 of Wands, as you expand upon your vision of how you see yourself out in the world, right? Again, visibility. You're being forced to really, again, tap into your intuitive power and really look at how you allow your emotions, whether it be your loneliness, love relationships. I think that's also why you see a withdrawal, the more of the withdrawal in love. I know I got the message, and I have other people in my life that have gotten the message that it's basically too costly, right? The price is too high to put your mental power into emotional only situations, meaning like, not that love is not important and it's not prominent for anyone at this time. However, we have to focus it as self-love. We have to actively love ourselves, actively build ourselves up, actively work on this, on us, on me, because I'm who shows up to every relationship. I'm who shows up to every business meeting. I'm who shows up to every situation in life. So if I'm not capable, because I'm in my feelings, Queen of Cups, because I am so just struggling getting over these things that are ping-ponging around in my head and that just make me feel, oh, you're going to continue to be disappointed because you're not living in the now. You're living somewhere else. Yeah. And the Ace of Pentacles came back when I asked for more clarity about the 5 of Cups. And then I cut the deck again and we got the 5 of Swords. So don't fight an unnecessary fight. I think I see this 5 of Cups coming up, right? Because the Ace of Pentacles was there and the 10 of Cups was still behind it, even though I shuffled. Don't allow anything that goes awry in your love life or does not go as planned, right? Or as you anticipate in your love life. Do not let it mess up your money. I'm going to pull a couple more cards because I don't like this. Spirit, give me more clarity on the 5 of Cups as it relates to finances and career for Scorpio 2018. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we got the 7 of Swords, Judgment, and the Knight of Pentacles. Underneath the deck, we have the 5 of Swords. Okay, I cut the deck again and the Empress came back. So I definitely feel that this disappointment is somehow tied to something that you love, or allowing your loneliness, allowing other things, right? Your emotions to take precedence over your work. Even if your heart is in your work, right? You still need to separate it. There needs to be a separation of your personal feelings and your work. Because the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords for me in this scenario is a wasted energy. The Seven of Swords for me, I don't think someone's deceiving you. I don't think someone's stealing from you. I see this as, because of how they lined up, you need to see what in your life takes energy and takes steam out of your vision. Okay? What dilutes your resolve and your ability to forge forward? Queen of Cups stacked on the Judgment. It's essential that you are objective when it comes to planning. Knight of Pentacles. Okay? Even if you're in an intuitive job or you're highly, touched into your intuition, yes, how you feel and what you know is important and it does have a place. But if you can't keep business and pleasure, I think that you're going to really struggle with going forward, and you're going to spend a lot of time having arguments with people about what you divined, about what you sensed, about what you picked up. And again, going back to strength, because look at the spiritual tone and the spiritual lessons for this year were freaking amazing. So that's where this comes back in. So you remember how strong you are spiritually. Remember the support that you have. So it doesn't matter who leaves your life or who doesn't support your dream, or it doesn't seem like people have your back, but it's really essential to be objective, okay? And know that before you move forward, you cannot bring old disappointments with you. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, this is better. The Knight of Pentacles is very much about planning, long-term planning. I just got the Seven of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so again, keep your head out of the clouds. Please chase your dreams, but not every option or offer, especially ones that are tempting, right, is really worth it, okay? Knight of Wands, because you're moving quick, okay? And if you move simply on impulse or simply on desire, not that desire is bad, but if you move simply on desire, I think that you will be misconstrued. So there's a need to separate passion, right? What just is purely passion driven from what is purely emotionally driven, where the emotions deviate from actual intuition. And Queen of Swords, being able to separate, make a separation, a clear-cut decision on what is for you and what you really want. Okay? Scorpio, you guys know I'm a Scorpio moon, so trust. Oh, all is well. And last but not least, Pisces, your overall lesson for 2018 is indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So I feel like this is a little contradictory to the messages that Scorpio and Cancer got, even though, we're about to get into your cards. But yes, you don't always live on this planet. You're definitely a lot of times elsewhere. And I know that sometimes you struggle to really apply all the things that you perceive, especially because a lot of times they're not in words and it's more like a feeling and a sensation and just an existence. But coupled with imagination as the overall theme for water for 2018, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. If you consciously use, right, and perceive the things that you already naturally do, it all gets a lot easier because it's a conscious choice. So you'll be able to filter out any and everything that is really not for you. Okay? Wow, every water sign got the Six of Swords. Jeez. We're moving on. We're moving on. All right, overall, we have the Wheel of Fortune, Six of Swords, King of Swords. On the bottom of the deck, Eight of Pentacles. So spiritually this year, you're really putting in the work, okay? You're coming in to master your intuition. And what I really more than anything feel like is you're stepping away from the rose-colored glasses aspect. I feel like because Neptune has been, Neptune's about to hit, I think, is that like 12 now? 12 degrees. It should hit 15. So it should hit its halfway point in 2018. So Wheel of Fortune, you have been on this cycle And as you hit the midpoint, you realize that you can't live on all the delusions. Not everything that sits into your mind and that comes into your mind, and the things that you want to say and the things that you've held on to, not all of them serve you. Eight of Pentacles, it's about mastering your craft, and your innate ability is to be able to perceive things that are literally just not available to the average person. King of Swords, it's important that you find value in intellect and you find value in clear communication. I feel like that's really important. Yeah, we can't always just say whatever. I keep pulling the Empress, like for all of you. Empress, coming into a power, being able to allow people to give to you, receive, being able to receive, and also not getting too lost in our feelings, right? There's been a lot of swords that have come up for water signs. Your intuition is valid and your intuition is important, but there's a fine line between getting in your feelings and heeding your intuition. So you are going into a new cycle like Cancer, where you just can't afford to have mental anguish and baggage. There's a need to transfer away from that and transition away from that. And as you come to master your understanding of your intuition, you find its logical and almost academic application. Okay? This King of Swords for me is, especially since you have butterflies and moons up at the top here, this is saying that even when he's making very rational, clear-cut decisions, he is allowing his intuition, the moons, to transform butterfly the way that he thinks. But he's still very grounded, right? He's sitting firm on a mountaintop. There's no clouds above his head. He has risen above any and all delusions. Okay, and that is the overall spiritual work that you are doing this year. Okay, Pisces. So let's see what is on the love horizon for Pisces 2018. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Love. Ooh, okay. So you got the Nine of Pentacles like Scorpio did, but they got it in their spiritual sector. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups, along with the Three of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles, which is so interesting. All right, so you have had 2 8s as the theme. Okay, so 8 is infinity. Know that regardless of anything, we are always infinitely connected to everything. Okay, and I know that you basically know that in your heart, but this year in your love life, Pisces, you're really going to be asked if you're ready to ascend. Are you ready to take things to the next level? Again, like the Six of Swords. Are you willing to leave behind the things that previously you identified yourself with, especially, or how you identified yourself in love? Three of Wands. Are you willing to move past the vision, right? Just having the vision and step into the active growth of your wildest dreams? Because this is about stepping into your future, okay? This is like stepping into or through like a golden door, a golden portal. Are you willing to turn your back on playing small? Are you willing to turn your back on anything that doesn't suit the expansion of your future? Okay? Because relationships can't be carried by one person. And even though love happens in the now and, you know, pretty much everything happens in the now, if we don't have an idea of where we're headed, right? If you never ground it down into reality, it gets really challenging. Ten of Pentacles, transitioning to the Nine of Pentacles for me is really interesting because it's as if you're realizing that true stability does not come from a traditional family dynamic. It comes from independence. And in order to solidify said family dynamic, in order to solidify or create a family, or go about creating a family, or even creating a life that is worth sharing with somebody, you have to first stand on your own 2 feet and acknowledge your worth. Yeah, and then I got the Nine of Cups when I cut the deck again. So you need to be able to first, you know, classic message, the love of other people The love of other people will never substitute what your own love for yourself could do. Okay? Also, keep in mind that it's okay to make your future plans with other people included, but make sure they know their role in those future plans. Okay? Make sure you communicate that to them. But I also see you leaving behind this old, how do I want to say it? An old way of identifying with what is a family. What do I really want for myself long term? And it's not that you go from wanting a family to wanting to be single. It's not that at all. It's just, it's like your idea of having it all in love, when you finally ascend, when you finally leave behind any residual feelings of old ways of identifying, again, with relationships, with stability, you realize nothing is more stable than having self-worth. Nothing is more stable than not settling. Okay? Again, indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So any decision that you need to make this year, okay, remember that you are infinitely supported, and usually the first thing that came to your mind is what it is. Intuition is always much more quiet than fear. So keep that in mind, Pisces. All right. And financial and career sector, Spirit, what is in store for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising in 2018? The overall energy for finances and career for Pisces in 2018. Oh, wow, Pisces. Okay. Overall energy in the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. We have the King of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Two of Cups. So, obviously this King of Cups is you. I feel this King of Pentacles energy is rolling in through 2017. It's something that you already initiated in 2017. These efforts that you've made on the practical world, and it's interesting because in the love sector, you had a lot of Pentacle cards. All these efforts you made with your career are finally creating that sense of establishment. Excuse me, Four of Wands. Because Four of Wands can be a physical home. However, more than anything, it's about a sense of home. Feeling at home in yourself. Feeling like you found your tribe, you found your space. You're finding like you really found your niche, okay? And you found people that just get you, okay? And with the Two of Cups there at the end, through your commitment, right, to creating more financial stability that is in alignment with who you really are on a spiritual level, you not only draw in business partners and opportunities with people to collaborate, right? But I feel that the job, right, or the work that you do this coming year, Pisces, will very much nourish you and make you feel in tune and in touch with your higher self. Because the Two of Cups, more than anything, is a union within you. Okay, remembering that the true power comes from knowledge of self. Sorry, I just wanted to shuffle again, and I got two more cards. Page of Swords and Strength. So you may find that your strength is more silent this year. You may keep more... It's like you hear the intuition, Page of Swords, right? You pay attention to what people are saying, what people are doing, subtle cues, right? Subtle cues. And with the Strength card there, you know that it builds your portfolio, I want to say. That it builds your case. That it strengthens your own self. Like, you have information that other people don't have, and it's not in a deceptive manner, but you're up on the ball, okay? So, my lovely water signs, it has been a pleasure, and I will be back soon with your January readings. Peace.